Welcome back to our channel, the channel for the latest news and untold stories about the Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine, and her royal family. Today, we bring you breaking news. The Princess of Wales creates history when the King promotes her to Colonel. For the first time, the Princess of Wales was already named a Regimental Colonel. Future Queen succeeds her husband as Colonel of the Irish Guards. The Welsh Guards Regimental Colonel at the moment is the Prince of Wales. The Irish Guards Sergeant Major is always the monarch. King Charles III now fills that position. The future Queen has a history with the army unit and has been giving the Guards shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day for a number of years now. The news coincided with the release of information on the first trooping of the colour of King Charles III's administration. On June the 17th, 2022, just a few weeks after His Majesty is installed at Westminster Abbey, the Sovereign's birthday parade will be held. For the first moment as head of state, King Charles will embrace. Earlier, His Majesty saluted on behalf of Queen Elizabeth II. The royal family will make their way back along the Mall to Buckingham Palace after trooping at Horse Guards Parade for a balcony presentation and an RAF air show. The Irish Guards, often known as the Mix in the army, is an Irish regiment that has demonstrated its tenacity and grit on several difficult campaigns. Guarding the royal family is a privilege enjoyed by its warriors. They hire people from the UK, Ireland, and other places. Queen Victoria established the Irish Guards on April 1st, 1900, in honour of the Second Boer War valour and gallantry displayed by Irish battalions. The division has since demonstrated its mettle in various significant conflicts. The Irish Guards' first honorary colonel of the regiment was Field Marshal Lord Roberts, known to many troops as Bobs. Military Commander Lord Roberts, sometimes referred to as Bobs by many soldiers, served as the Irish Guards' first hereditary colonel of the regiment. Due to this, the regiment was given the moniker Bob's Own, but they are now fondly referred to as the Mix. Although this is a phrase that is often used in a pejorative manner in society, the regiment does not find it offensive or insulting. Roberts was too occupied at the time to assume control of a new division as he was the Second Boer War's new captain, but he was designated a colonel of the army unit on October 17th, 1900. On May 2nd, 1900, Major Richard Joshua Cooper of the Infantry Battalion Grenadier Guards was named as the new Infantry Division 1st Base Commander, and 200 Irish soldiers from the previous regiment were assigned as its founding members. To fill up the positions of the new regiment, a few light infantry unit personnel were recruited. On May 30th, 1902, at Horse Guards Parade, King Edward VII gave the 1st Battalion the Infantry Division First Colours. These few Irish Guardsmen participated in the Boer War's closing phases as mounted infantry. In any case, the Irish Guards served in the UK for the first 14 years of the country's history, carrying out ceremonial tasks in London from that point on until the start of World War I. The division was crucial in several decisive engagements during the First World War, including the First Battle of Ypres, the Battle of Loos, and the Battle of the Somme. Through the end of the conflict, the division had suffered considerable losses and received 4 Victoria Crosses, including 2 posthumous awards. When the Second World War started, just 21 years later, the Irish Guards would engage in comparable combat. The troops participated in the Battle of France, the Tunisian Campaign, the Italian Campaign, Operation Overlord, and Operation Market Garden, while also earning 2 more Victoria Crosses. The Irish Guards participated in a number of confrontations resulting from the fall of the British Empire after the Second World War, along with the Jewish uprisal in Mandatory Palestine, the fight against with the EOKA organisation in Cyprus, and the Aid in Emergency. The Irish Guards participated in warfare in the Balkans, Iraq, and Afghanistan in the 21st century. 1 week after the British Empire proclaimed war on Germany, the 1st Battalion Irish Guards relocated to France as a member of the 4th Brigade of something like the 2nd Division. They would stay on the Western Front for the length of the conflict. The regiment took part in both the brutal and difficult Great Retreat that followed the Battle of Mons. The Irish Guards participated in a small-scale fight at Lancrécies against the invading Germans as part of the back line during the withdrawal. The 1st as well as the 2nd Irish Guards all also spent a significant portion of 1915 and the beginning of 1916 in trench warfare, and until the Battle of the Somme started on July 1st, 1916. This was and remains the deadliest and most destructive period in the historical past of the British Army, but the 1st Irish Guards have been placed in reserve and were exempt the day's carnage. Being part of the British Army of either the Rhine, the Irish Guards proceeded into Germany on December the 11th, 1918, with drummers playing, to begin their administration responsibilities after the First World War. After a triumphant homecoming to Britain by both regiments in the spring of 1919, the 2nd and the 3rd Irish Guards were deemed excess to needs and dissolved. The battalion wore their dress uniform for St. Patrick's Day in 1920 for the very first time since prior to the start of World War I. Despite the fact that troops stayed largely distanced from the events of the Irish War of Independence, only one representative of the Irish Guards was made to pay with attempting to transport weapons to Republicans. The fighting force was forced to deal with internal divisions brought on by the political atmosphere back home in Ireland after the end of the First World War. Perhaps this is the act that was driven by a need for financial gain instead of by political implications. The 1st Regiment Irish Guards, which has been stationed in the UK since their homecoming from Norway in June 1940, arrived in Tunisia in March 1943 together with the remainder of the 24th Guards Brigade to participate in the closing phases of the North African War. The conclusion of World War II foreshadowed the expected British Army's reduction in size and demobilisation of its combat capability, which resulted in the disbandment of the 3rd Irish Guards in 1946 and the 2nd in 1947. The British Empire had begun to crumble with the Second World War's conclusion, and during the next generation the Irish Guards would seek themselves fighting in wars as Britain withdrew from its last possessions. When the Irish Guards entered their 2nd century of operation, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, who for a number of years had been customary presenter of the Irish Guards, passed away. Thank you for watching the video. What do you think of the recent events? Do you believe that Catherine's new position will change the course of the monarchy's history? Share your opinions with us. But for now, goodbye.